warnings hindering plows as vehicles that aren't prepared for winter driving conditions. Officials are also telling those who do venture out to give themselves plenty of extra time.
We've had crews out all night, and as a result, our main priority routes are in relatively good condition for this morning's rush. The snow did start to stop early this morning, so we've actually started to begin on our priority 2 routes, which are school routes and large grades. And we've even managed to start on our local roads, but many of them are still covered in snow and slush at this current time.
Now, it seems a lot of people saw that chaos on Tuesday night and decided transit is their best option this morning. TransLink is warning about possible delays for a number of routes. Let's check in with Global's Ted Field, who's making his way into work right now. Morning, Ted. Where are you? How are things looking?
I'm at the Lougheed station, and it's way better than last night, that's for sure. Came in from the Langley area, Highway 1, the bus was fine, the route is bare and wet. There's that's westbound. Eastbound on Highway 1 around the Portman area, it's still a mess. It looks like crews are still trying to get rid of a lot of stuck cars that were just left on the bridge, that were on the hill past the bridge, so that is a bit of a mess. Right now I'm at the Lougheed station, and as I'm looking here, train's just left, by the way, that's why it's a little quieter, but not as many people by far on the train. As a matter of fact, there's about an 8 to 9 minute delay between trains. Usually it's a little bit more like 4 minutes. They are running longer trains, but you can tell there's a lot fewer people taking transit this morning, which I guess means that a lot fewer people are going to work this morning because, again, as I said, Highway 1 westbound was quiet. Here at the Lougheed is very quiet. And as a matter of fact, I guess the best way people can spend their time here is watching Global News on the screen. So,
hey, wow, that's
keep
like
an eye on how your weather and traffic is. I know, exactly.
Hey,
so,
Ted, really
as I say, it's like, by the way, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just interested because some of the main roads you were mentioning, but I was hearing that everything kind of east of the Portman is a mess. How are some of the side streets around where you are?
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem. I've watched the side roads are still really, really slippery. I've watched people just on a moderate hill in my neighborhood not able to get out. So the challenge might be just getting out of your neighborhood on the streets. But as I say, the commute today is last night 2.5 hours to get home, by the way. The commute that should be just under an hour. That's how bad it was. But this morning, not as bad, Paul.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ted. Get the rest of the way to work safely. That's Ted Field reporting from transit this morning. And with the first significant snowfall of the season, a number of students on the South Coast will be getting their first snow day. All public schools in the Chilliwack, Abbotsford, Mission, Langley, Maple Ridge, and Pig Meadows school districts are closed for students and staff today. For independent schools, Kelsey School Newton, Kelsey School Old Yale Road, Kelsey Secondary, and Kelsey School at the Fraser Valley are also closed, along with Greater Heights Learning Academy, Immaculate Conception School, Valley Christian Queen of All Saints, St. Catherine's, the King's School, James Cameron School, and St. James and St. Anne's Catholic Elementary. Our Lady of Mercy, École de Vendémiaire, École de Voyageurs, École de Roulerie, Choice School for the Gifted, and Meadow Montessori are all closed for the day. Apologies to all my former French teachers there. In Surrey, Guru Angad Dev Elementary, Pacific Academy, and
Autobots are gifted.
KPU and Douglas Colleges.
Fucking retards.
BBC's Point Grey campus is closed until 1 p.m. SFU's Burnaby campus will
No consensus. Gotta just red light of Canada's labor force. Commuting habits. What about me? That's my job. Heads.
More than 20,000 customers are still in the dark. That's on both the island and the lower mainland. Hydro says at one point 50,000 customers were in the dark.
How can Hydro talk? How did Hydro say that? Consensus data.
Basically adds weight to trees and branches. We know that the trees this year are in bad shape because of the drought, and so they've been weakened. So we're seeing a lot of trees and branches come down onto our line. So what that does is it breaks the power line, sometimes pulls down power poles as well as other electrical equipment. So that repair work is what's really been keeping our crews busy overnight, and will continue to keep them busy throughout the day.
Some frightening moments for a truck driver during Tuesday's commute in Vancouver. A massive tree branch came down right on
I kissed him right on the lips.
Driving at 49th Avenue in Quebec. It happened around 5:30. City crews did manage to clear
right on the lips.
This morning. The truck was eventually able to drive away. As you can imagine, the incident...
You kiss a frog and turn him into a princess. That's my wife.
Now, Vancouver Island got the first of that snow on Tuesday before those strong winds whipped up in the afternoon. The wind blowing this large vessel onto the rocks just outside of Victoria's Inner Harbor. The Lafarge vessel didn't appear to have anyone on board. Still no word at this point where it originally came from, but it's run aground up
I call her Muse.
Water treatment facility. Now the snow not just making a mess on the roads.
Watch what happens. She gets all fucking fucked up.
Now thankfully everyone's okay.
I render her.
Flight 10 landed safely, sliding off the taxiway and getting stuck on some grass. Crews worked to get passengers to the terminal with a couple of buses. Now because of that incident, the north runway was shut down for arrivals. That obviously caused
Oh, we're glitching. This is bad.
Seattle, Calgary, and Denver. YVR says if you're planning on flying, leave yourself
See?
time
That's
to
horrible.
the airport and of course, check with your
That's called affection. Something that guy can't ever do.
Today, let's go
I mean,
where we find our chief meteorologist Mark Madriga. Mark, we've got
look at the cutout on his body.
as I can see, huh?
Yeah, you asked about this earlier. It's +3, +4, most of Metro Vancouver. That snow is just right for snowballs, but you're the one that brought it up. I don't want to recommend throwing snowballs around necessarily, but it is awfully fun. Where's the boss's office? No, I'm just kidding.
Look at all those birds.
Right now, it's above freezing. It's going to be a pretty nice
They're
day.
stuck in animation.
Rain shower near the mountains.
Those are birds.
Snow in the eastern Fraser Valley and the
And they're stuck in animation.
Interior up Squamish to Whistler, a few more centimeters.
Look at them all.
Showers could easily fall
He's
today.
supposed to be live.
Metro Vancouver, it's cleanup day.
But why aren't the birds moving?
Sun, wind easing. There's very little wind here in Burnaby right now.
They're stuck.
And mild. However, with the snow that melts, or at least a little bit.
The poor
not
birds.
all of it for sure, but little will melt and refreeze.
They must be frozen in air.
A high of 4 or 5.
What did you do?
You see, I still have a raindrop in there. Slight chance of a shower. That's about it. Tonight,
Valley Christian in Mission is closed. Oh, the Christian's closed. The only one.
Mostly sunny. Friday's the next weather system. It's going to come up from the southwest.
Why doesn't it say that these guys are smart?
Not so good in this scenario
Because they go to shitty schools.
pressure center. So I'll go for some afternoon and evening snow.
The Queen of all saints.
Not likely as much as yesterday's system, but some snow.
Well, that's fucking racist.
And then back to dry weather for Saturday and Sunday.
She ain't my queen.
I like that. And Mark, maybe we shouldn't promote snowballs. You're like,
She smells like a donkey dick.
off school today, maybe a snowman.
I was going to say that. Yeah, we should come on up here later. There's the roof here. We'll build a great big one and show up.
Leader of the Autobots.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. That's Chief Meteorologist Mark Madriga.
She's the reason why Bumblebee can't actually talk. Nobody's ever told you that. She doesn't care. He's not a saint. To her, she's a pawn in chess. But don't worry. Christina Aguilera, we need your help. We'll get her from the bottom of the pyramid. Knock her block off. We're going to do a reversal. And then we're going to flip the pyramid in half. And then break it in a quarter. And then flip it into 50 cents. Rip off their necklaces. Made of only gold that only they can wear. How much... How did you make all that money to buy all that gold? How much gold is that worth? Enough for how many houses? Like, really? That gold is probably... Okay, if you're talented, you don't buy gold like that. You rent it. Or it gets put on you.
You don't have to live with it. Find out today how we can help. Have your confidential consultation.
And you do a show and it comes off.
With the cost of living climbing, it's getting
Fuck you, Autobot.
So to help
all just decked in that gold all the time.
Bringing down parents' childcare costs.
It needs to go to Tree so he can fucking branch with Babe.
And with more licensed childcare spaces opening around the province, quality childcare is now more.
But you're a grave robber.
Hoping make life a little easier for your family.
Carries over 700 used vehicles. No payments for up to 6 months. And of course, everyone gets approved. Check us out.
We felt hard. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says his government is not looking for a fight over Alberta's proposed sovereignty bill.
We know the exceptional powers that the Premier is using to give the Alberta government and bypassing the Alberta legislature. It's causing a lot of